like, yeah, you're gonna be doing a lot more of those, right?
I already been doing fucking trillion of them my whole life, so.
But because of the, the recent, like,
my attitude with cutting off the news and like some of the weekly shows, it's not like, oh, I need to produce way more content to be able to like match the amount of content that we were making with other people. It's more just like, I want to focus on higher quality stuff as opposed to like scheduled content in which people really only feel like they just got to show up. Which there may have been a little bit too much of going on.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense to me. I get it. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Like, there's no
100%.
rule that just because No Jumper put out an average of 20 videos a week for the last year or two that we need to keep doing that. Like if we get down to 8 videos a week, then I mean, who gives a fuck if it's good quality?
I think one of the things that a lot of people forget too, because it's like no matter what, anytime you go through an era, it's gonna be is No Jumper finished. That's just gonna be the main headline. But I think a lot of people realize, or they always forget, that as long as nothing happens to YouTube, which YouTube seems like this one of the most stable platforms out here in terms of longevity, when you have a catalog, the catalog can carry you very far for a very long time, And then not only that, you've had different rates of uploads and hits throughout these last however many 10 years that you've been doing this shit anyway. So it's like you even dropping everything off and going down to quality over quantity, you still have a back catalog that's gonna hit for forever. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain places that can't go down.
Like our Facebook makes a good amount of money for us every month, and our Facebook is primarily like this team just taking like vintage No Jumper clips and like repurposing them for. So it's like we already are like monetizing our back catalog in like ways that I really could not have seen a couple of years ago. Yeah. So there is something to the back catalog thing. But,
and it's I think you and Vlad work your catalog the most out of everybody that I've seen. I would say like, so when I first started podcasting, it's just something that I picked up from each different person. So I started doing a podcast because I was working at an office job and I was like, this seems easy and I want to do it, but I didn't know what equipment to use. Your setup was so basic that I was like, oh, all I need is an iPhone. And then I would like zoom in on your computer and see in your mixer. And I'm like, oh, that's all I need.
Oh, wow. Adam proved you don't even need a haircut.
Yeah.
Just do something.
Yeah.
I was growing.
Your hair transplant doesn't look as bad in person. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's coming in.
Yeah.
Every day it gets a little better.
It's coming in.
Which one is that?
You like a chia
Third one. But I got more follicles for the third. The third one, I got as many follicles as I got in the first and the second one combined.
I feel like you're talking like,
but just to say, like this one was way more hair, so that should last me a lot longer than either of the first ones.
All right, so since we're on that real quick, and then I'll go back to what I was saying, you have to be done with it after this. If this one don't stick, you just got to go bald.
I believe this will carry me through to 50.
But what else?
So this isn't forever either with this.
Well, I mean, I feel like based on the past ones I got, that usually it stopped the procession of the hairline going back for like 7 years.
Got you. Okay.
Or so. So like
at 50, you'll just let it go.
I don't know. Am I going to give a fuck about my hair at 50? You never really
Probably
know.
not.
Probably not.
It'd be weird to be like a farmer with like a hair transplant.
Yeah, that's true.
Because farmer with the hair, what they look like, maybe I'll be a farmer.
And does it turn colors, or would you have to dye it as you get older?
I do see the gray creeping in on the side, but I don't believe that the hair transplant has anything to do with the actual color. Like if this part of your hair isn't turning gray, then the hairs that you take from the back they're going to grow in the color that this would have grown. I think.
Transplanted, yeah.
God damn.
But yeah, bro, your setup was so basic. It was like, but just go back.
No, but the early days, it was an iPhone on a bike stand, and then I hired a guy off of fucking like Craigslist to help me like buy the right setup, and then like help monitor the sound for the first couple episodes.
Got you. Yeah, so like I took y'all setup because it was so basic. It was like $300 on Amazon, and then you already have the iPhone. But then Vlad and you and Vlad, y'all work y'all catalogs more than everybody else. Like, cause y'all post your shit everywhere. It's not just YouTube. People try to like pigeonhole you to just YouTube, but you be having Snap, Facebook, like all type of shit. And the same with Vlad, you know, he's like the nickel and dime master in terms of just content. And I feel like he's on all those platforms as well too. So y'all just like monetize it in more way. Y'all monetize the actual view more than other platforms.
Yeah, like a piece of content, an hour of content is worth so much more to me in my mind now than it used to be when it was just YouTube.
Yeah.
Because all that shit could have its own lifespan.
channel and shit like
over
that.
the years, you could run it like multiple times and shit, you know?
Yep.
And you even said with this new evolution, you was looking at like Vlad as like, you know, what you were trying to go for.
Yeah, I mean, like, Vlad could have a fucking news show going every morning. Why does he not do it? Probably because he thinks it would end up being like sort of low quality in the end, you know?
It
And
would
just a
be-
waste of time. Like, who wants to hear Vlad report on the weather?
Or like, I just like the way his content is a little bit more purposeful. We got shit to talk about. Let's do an episode.
Yeah.
But he also has a certain amount of like respect and class when it comes to this shit, right? Like,
Oh, I'm so
Yeah.
classy. What are you talking about?
I mean, you're not the class.
No, this is a shit show in a way that Vlad isn't. Vlad shit is very
That's what
clean
I'm
cut,
saying.
professional. Nobody's smoking cigarettes or
Right.
going to the bathroom or
It's
you
like-
know whatever. His
and-
shit is very like well polished and
Like, why
produced,
would you
know?
put Red Bull in a wine glass?
Yeah. And you don't want to be like, do you want to be that clean or you just
No.
want to be cleaner?
I just felt like the news and the weekly shows were like not really doing what they were supposed to do. at this
Red Bull
point.
in a wine glass.
I'm not gonna say no, but that was just like too much. That's all I'm saying. It's just like a little too much content. I don't think we need to make that much content. We should focus on the content that we do put out being
Right.
top notch.
Yeah, I get it.
So, what are you passionate about right now?
Doing interviews is probably like my main passion in life, I guess. Aside from like making money, also I guess it's got to be
Plug
up there.
talk.
Plug talk is.
My
But I don't feel
talk.
passionate about fucking
No,
bitches.
you're passionate about it.
it's fun.
You're passionate about it.
I'm probably like not any more passionate about my own sex life than I'm probably way less into my own sex life than the average person. It's just I'm doing shit on camera, but it's so different, and people don't really get that.
Yeah, because it's a cognitive dissonance. Like, regular people fuck like 2 to 3 times a week if they're lucky.
Yeah.
You fucking twice today, right?
No, that's tomorrow. But
See?
it's just like
When's the last time you said
So
that?
you're-
I'll
don't say his fucking schedule,
Those
my
3
nigga.
bitches up for next week. What are you talking
me
about?
driving to the office to do a 2-hour podcast with you guys, and me driving to the office to do an interview / porn with some girl, I don't feel any different. It's just content.
It's all part of the
I'm
day.
just
Yeah.
showing up, doing content, and then going home.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I have
might be
different
weird.
feelings during it, but it's like, you know, it's all content.
Yeah,
You know, I don't-
I think people have a disconnect that this is just your life. I feel like it seems pretty regular to me.
It's in the
This-
schedule, yeah.
It's
It's just-
like that's how he just lives his life. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I
It
could have
seems
a
regular.
cold. I could be mad about something. I could whatever. You just gotta
Everybody's
show up
life
and
is
pipe.
different. Some niggas, you know what I'm saying? They just don't have fucking a part of their schedule. But if you run a media company and a porn business, that makes complete sense. That
Yeah.
you got pussy on the schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, Menace Material fans, look out. We got a new branch on the way.
Bro, you guys would be rich instantly if you just start smashing some random at the end of every episode. Wow.
You think so?
Well, actually, I don't know.
I was
But
about to
maybe.
You could definitely give us a sauce on it.
I like people who have like just like their method of content. Like Steve O's like just shove a dildo up somebody's ass.
Yeah.
Like, that'll make it work.
That was the
Yeah.
old Steve-O, though.
Yeah, that's the old
Current
Steve.
Steve-O. Very different.
When are we gonna get a new
Current
album?
Steve-O is terrible now. Like
Yeah, he's a
Not a
Christian.
fan?
bro, that podcast, no.
Really?
Nah. It looks cool. I like the set a lot. I like how it's in like the van and shit like that. But you know what rubbed me the wrong way is when he was advocating for the chick that was on Software Underbelly, the one who did those
That was scamming them?
Yeah, they were doing those weird experiments and stuff like that.
Oh, Lima?
Yeah,
I fuck with her, too. I got a lot of shit for backing her up.
bro, that shit was crazy, dog. So like
I think all the people who think that she's like a conspiracy, that this is all a big conspiracy theory, I can't even remember the details of that shit, but I ended up thinking that all of his fans are fucking out of their mind. And he
I was
agrees
about
too.
to say.
Mark
Oh,
agrees too. Yeah, me and Mark
I
talked
think
about
definitely
it.
some of there's definitely a certain percentage. You have to really be watching a lot of those videos.
You gotta be sick.
Yeah, bro. There's only I can
gotta
do
be
like
a
1 to 2, and then I'm like, let me take a week off because this is fucked out here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's definitely a lot that I've thought about watching, and I just didn't really feel like I had the stomach for
That's
it
what I'm
at that
saying, bro.
moment.
Yeah.
And I've kind of put it on the back
and then
burner.
sometimes
like-
you start them and you're like, wow, that got really dark in 5 minutes, and this is 50 minutes left. I'm good. Yeah, let me just go to another one that's got a better balance of happy and depressing. You know what I'm saying?
Because most of the time, real life isn't a fucking fairy tale.
Yeah.
The interview ends just as bad as it began.
There was one that I remember seeing that was like 13-year-old prostitute. And I didn't watch it. And then I found out later that I know the dad.
Of the woman? Of the girl? Oh, good thing you didn't watch it.
And that really made me like kind of curious to watch it, but also like, I'm not watching.
Know him?
How well do you know
like
the dad?
Just passing, like, you know, like.
I've had him on the pod a few times.
Oh, like you. Oh, shit.
And that was, I don't know.
He's a scumbag.
I don't even want to try to think about it yet.
See, but that's what happens with that throw to the wall and stick shit.
Yeah.
Nigga. You got to do research on these niggas.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, nah. Well, moment of silence for that childhood.
I was about to say,
Fuck, that's dark. Yeah, I can't.
Right.
I don't know.
But yeah, can you hit that bell for me, brother?